Welcome to Project Management. In this video, I will talk about managing project teams. Synergy is derived from a Greek word that means working together. High-performing teams usually exhibit positive synergy. The essence of positive synergy is that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. It can also be expressed like this: 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. Watch these video clips about positive synergy. The first video is titled Madagascar Penguins Teamwork. It's from the animated comedy film Penguins of Madagascar. The second video is titled The Power of Teamwork. It contains a set of short advertisements of a public transportation company located in Belgium. Low-performing teams usually exhibit negative synergy. The essence of negative synergy is that the whole is less than the sum of the parts. It can also be expressed like this: 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Watch these two funny video clips about negative synergy. The first video is titled We Fear Not Godlike Rivals, but Pig-like Allies. The second video is titled A Good Partner is Essential. Here I list some common characteristics of high-performing teams that exhibit positive synergy. First, the team members share a sense of common purpose, and each member is working toward achieving project objectives. Second, the team makes effective use of individual talents and expertise. Third, roles are balanced and shared to facilitate both the accomplishments of tasks and feelings of group cohesion and morale. Fourth, the team focuses on problem solving rather than allowing itself to be drained by interpersonal conflicts. Fifth, differences of opinion are encouraged and freely expressed. Last, the team encourages risk-taking and creativity. Mistakes are treated as opportunities for learning rather than reasons for punishment. In this video, I will introduce a popular team development model for project management. It's called the 5-stage team development model. It involves the forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning stages. The first stage is forming. During this stage, the members selected to be on the project team get acquainted with each other and understand the scope of the project. They begin to develop ground rules by trying to find out what behaviors are acceptable and what behaviors are not. This stage is completed once members begin to think of themselves as part of a group. The second stage is storming. This stage is marked by a high degree of internal conflicts. Members resist the constraints that the project and the group put on them. As these conflicts are resolved, the project manager's authority becomes accepted, and then the team development moves to the third stage, norming. In the third stage, close relationships develop, and the group demonstrates cohesiveness. This phase is complete when the group structure solidifies, and the group establishes a common set of expectations about how members should work together. The project manager has to take an active role in shaping group norms that will contribute to the ultimate project success. Stage 4 is performing. In this stage, the team is fully functional. Team members are working together towards accomplishing the project goals. Problems may still emerge, but they will be addressed much more efficiently. Stage 5 is adjourning. During this completion phase, the attention is devoted to wrapping up the project. The team members should also prepare for post-project transition. This model provides a framework for the group to understand its own development. The project manager can share the model with their team members. It helps members accept the tensions of the storming phase and it directs their focus to move towards the more productive phases. Experience and research indicate that high-performance project teams are much more likely to develop under the following conditions. There are 10 or fewer members per team. Members volunteer to serve on the project team. Members serve on the project full-time from beginning to end. Members are part of an organization with a culture that fosters cooperation and trust. Members report solely to the project manager and not the functional manager. All relevant functional areas are represented on the team. The project involves a compelling objective and team members are motivated. Members are located within conversational distance of each other and not working remotely. These are ideal conditions for developing high-performing teams. But in reality, it's rare that all these conditions are met for a specific project. It's worth mentioning that the 5-stage team development model is just one of many models in the literature. Another team development model is called the Punctuated equilibrium model. This model suggests that teams don't develop in a universal sequence of stages, as suggested by the 5-stage model. This punctuated equilibrium model is applicable to teams working on relatively small-scale projects with 4 to 12 members. In most cases, no formal project plan was established. Phase 1 of the project starts after the first project meeting and continues until the midpoint of the planned project duration. At this midpoint, a major transition suddenly occurs. It was like the team members universally experienced a midlife crisis at this point. The midpoint appears to work like an alarm clock, heightening members' awareness that the time was limited and they need to get moving faster. The group began to drop old norms and behavior patterns. New behavior and working relationships emerge that contribute to increased progress toward completing the project. Overall, the project went through a period of low performing, followed by storming, then a period of high performing, and finally adjourning. Project managers play a key role in developing high-performing project teams. They consider two main factors when recruiting team members. They are the importance of the project and the management structure used to complete the project. For high-priority projects that are critical to the future of the organization, the project manager will be allowed to select whoever they deem necessary. For low-priority projects, the project manager will have to persuade personnel from other areas within the organization to join the team, or they have to accept whoever is left from the human resource pool. For a project that uses a dedicated team, a strong matrix structure, the project manager has the authority to select the team members. For a project that uses a functional or weak matrix structure, the functional manager has the authority to assign the team members. Experienced project managers stress the importance of asking for volunteers when allowed. The value of having team members volunteer for the project as opposed to being assigned cannot be overlooked. Agreeing to work on the project is the first step toward building personal commitment to the project. Such commitment will be essential to maintain motivation when the project hits hard times and extra effort is required. Project managers should look for individuals with the necessary technical expertise and problem-solving skills to complete the assigned tasks. They should hire people who are familiar with the type of projects or who are fast learners if they are not familiar with the project. Sometimes the people who are most available are not the ones wanted for the project. Conversely, if members recruited are already overcommitted, they may not be able to offer much. The credibility of the project is enhanced by the reputation of the people involved in the project. Recruiting a sufficient number of reputable employees lends confidence to the project. Project managers are wise to recruit individuals who already have a good working relationship with key stakeholders. The project manager has to be sensitive to the needs of others when building the project team. Do not unnecessarily rob other departments or project managers of essential personnel, because this may easily create enemies within an organization. The project manager should use caution when revealing how different team members were selected. The project might be crippled at the start if reluctantly assigned members are identified and the team perceives differences in attitude and commitment. Some managers feel threatened when subordinates know more than they do. They either hire people who are inferior to them so they can always feel in control, or they bottleneck people so they can maintain control. The whole project suffers from the manager's insecurity. Project managers should know how to conduct team meetings effectively. The first project team meeting is usually referred to as a kickoff meeting. The project manager provides an overview of the project, including the scope and objectives, the general schedule, methods, and procedures. During the kickoff meeting, team members address some of the interpersonal concerns captured in the team development model. Who are the other team members? How will I fit in? Will I be able to work with these people? The kickoff meeting sets the tone for how the team will work together. The project manager must recognize that first impressions are important. His or her behavior will be carefully monitored and interpreted by team members. This meeting should serve as an exemplary role model for subsequent meetings and reflect the leader's style. Some guidelines for running effective meetings after project kickoff are listed here. First of all, it's a good practice to always start on time, regardless of whether everyone is present. Prepare an agenda prior to the meeting. Prioritize issues so that adjustments can be made given time constraints. Identify an adjournment time. The most common complaint is that meetings last too long. Review how effective previous meetings have been. Next, encourage active participation of all members by asking questions. Prior to the end of the meeting, summarize the decisions and review key assignments and actions to be taken. Assign good record keeping. Record keeping can be an unwelcome, tedious task, but its importance cannot be overlooked. Meeting minutes will be distributed to appropriate people after the meeting. The project manager should work with team members to establish the norms for team interaction. For example, confidentiality is maintained. No information is shared outside their team until approved by the manager. It's acceptable to be in trouble, but not acceptable to surprise others. Tell others immediately when deadlines or milestones will not be reached, so there will still be time for corrective actions. Agree to disagree. But when a final decision has been made, regardless of personal feelings, everyone on the team should move forward. Next, there is zero tolerance for bullying at work. Watch these two short videos about workplace bullying. The first is titled, Managing the Workplace Bullying. And the second is titled, What does bullying and harassment mean for you and your workplace? To make these norms more tangible, the team can create a team charter that goes beyond the scope statement of the project and states in explicit terms the norms and values of the team. This charter should be a collaborative effort that reflects the general agreement of the entire team. Each member signs the final document to symbolize commitment to the principles it contains. Team charters shouldn't just be a ritual that is filed away after everybody signed. It should be a part of a project monitoring system. Once a cohesive team with well-established norms is created, the members will police themselves so that the manager doesn't have to. The project manager should lead and facilitate the team to establish a unique team identity to which participants can become emotionally attached. This can be done through team meetings. During project team meetings, members see that they are not working alone, and project success depends on the collective efforts of all the team members. The team identity can also be strengthened by co-locating all the team members into the same office building. If this is not possible, the project manager can create a project office, or sometimes referred to as a project war room. Such rooms are the common meeting place and contain the most significant project documentation. Team members may identify themselves through a team name or team logo. It's a good idea to affix the team name or team logo to stationery, t-shirts, coffee mugs, etc. to help signify team membership. Nothing reinforces a sense of a team more than working on something together. If you want to know a person better, play with them. Team identity and cohesion can develop through outdoor activities like golfing, fishing, picnicking, and business retreats. Lastly, the team identity can be reinforced through team ritual. We see that a lot in sports. For example, New Zealand's national rugby team credits its success to all their rituals, including the haka dance. The project manager should lead the team to create a common sense of purpose or a shared vision. Unlike project scope statements, a vision involves the less tangible aspects of the project performance. It refers to an image a project team holds in common about how the project will look upon completion. The vision can be as simple as a slogan. It can also be as formal as a vision statement. It answers the question, what do we want to create? An effective vision integrates 4 essential aspects. First, the vision must be able to be communicated with stakeholders. A vision is worthless if it only resides in the project manager's head. The use of concrete, image-based language is critical. Second, visions have to be challenging but also realistic. If it sets the standard too high, then it does not make strategic sense, and no actions will be able to achieve the objectives or goals. Third, project managers should be passionate about the vision and truly believe it. Last, he or she should be able to use the vision as a source of inspiration to team members and other stakeholders. To develop effective visions, project managers must find out what excites people about the project. Then they should articulate this source of excitement in an appealing manner. Throughout the duration of the project, they need to protect and maintain the source of excitement. A good example of an effective vision is the Amazon Go cashier-free smart grocery store. Its vision is simply no lines, no checkout. Watch this video. Watch another video that features the vision statements of some popular brands. Project managers are responsible for managing the reward system. Positive reinforcement can be used to reward team performance and extra effort. It may be in form of cash bonuses, vacation rewards, all expenses paid trips to Disney World for the members' entire families, home computers and entertainment centers, gift certificates to popular restaurants, tickets to sports events, impromptu pizza parties and barbecues. Negative reinforcement can also be used to motivate team performance. For example, when a project is slipped behind schedule, the manager may arrange daily coordination meetings at an inconvenient time, like 6 o'clock in the morning, that is mandatory for all the members involved. The meeting may continue for about 2 weeks until the project gets back on schedule. While project managers tend to focus on group rewards, there are times when they need to reward individual performance. This is done not only to compensate extraordinary effort, but also to signal to the others what exemplary behavior is. When recognizing individual performance, project managers may not always have much authority to provide monetary reward. However, they may reward with letters of commendation which will go to employees' official work record and will be useful for their promotion evaluation. Public recognition for outstanding work is also a good way of rewarding individuals. Some project managers begin each status review meeting with a brief mention of project members who have exceeded their goals. Project managers may also reward members by accommodating their preferences of job assignments. Increased personal flexibility for extraordinary team members is another way of rewarding. Allowing members to work at home when a child is sick or excusing a minor discretion can create long-lasting loyalty. Do be aware that nothing can undermine the cohesiveness of a team more than members beginning to feel that others are getting special treatment, or the reward system is unfair. Most decisions on a project do not require a formal meeting to discuss alternatives and determine solutions. Decisions are made in real time as part of the daily interactions between project managers, stakeholders, and team members. However, project managers may encounter problems that are too complex and require the collective wisdom of team members as well as relevant stakeholders. Group decision-making should be used when it will improve the quality of important decisions. Group decision-making should also be used when strong commitment to the decision is needed to reduce the resistance and secure support for the decision. This is especially true when controversial problems have a major impact on project activities and when trust is low within the project team. Project managers play a pivotal role in guiding the group decision-making process. Their job is not to make a decision, but to facilitate the discussion within the group so that the team reaches a consensus on the best possible solution. The first step of the group decision-making process is problem identification. The project manager needs to be careful not to state the problem in terms of the choices, like, should we do X or Y? Rather, the project manager should identify the underlying problem and just state what is happening. If the problem requires creativity, then brainstorming is commonly recommended. The objective is to create as many alternatives as possible, no matter how bizarre they may appear to be. This is the second step. The third step is to evaluate and assess the merits of alternative solutions until a consensus is reached. During this phase, it's useful to have a set of criteria for evaluating the merits of different solutions. Finally, the group should evaluate the effectiveness of the decision in follow-up meetings after implementation. If the decided actions fail to provide the anticipated solution, then the reasons should be explored, and the lessons learned should be added to the collective knowledge bank of the project team. Disagreements and conflicts naturally emerge within a project team during the life of the project. They are an inevitable and even a desirable part of the project work. It's important to distinguish functional conflicts from dysfunctional conflicts. Functional conflicts are also called healthy conflicts, and dysfunctional conflicts are also called unhealthy conflicts. Project managers should evaluate their difference based on how the conflict affects project performance, not how individuals feel. Members can be upset and dissatisfied with the conflicts. But as long as the disagreement furthers the objectives of the project, then the conflict is functional. Functional conflicts might lead to better solutions and the avoidance of critical mistakes. Organizations have a tendency to create too many yes men, and the emperor needs to be told when he doesn't have any clothes on. To make use of functional conflicts, project managers can encourage disagreement by asking tough questions or ask the team to consider an unthinkable alternative. They may also bring in people with different points of view or designate someone in the team to be a devil's advocate. Sometimes functional conflicts degenerate into dysfunctional conflicts. This change occurs when technical disagreements evolve into irrational personality clashes or failure to resolve an issue causes unnecessary delays in critical project work. Managing dysfunctional conflicts is a much more challenging task than encouraging functional conflicts, because often there is no easy solution to dysfunctional conflicts. Project managers have to decide among a number of different strategies to manage them. Here are 5 possibilities. First, the manager mediates and tries to negotiate a resolution by using reasoning and persuasion, suggesting alternatives based on common ground. Second, the manager arbitrates and imposes a solution to the conflict after listening to each party. The goal is not to decide who wins, but to have the project win. Third, the manager may control and even reduce the intensity of the conflict by smoothing over differences or injecting humor. The manager can adjourn the interaction and hope both parties will cool off the next day. Fourth, the project manager may choose to accept minor dysfunctional conflicts and treat them as noise or distractions, as long as they do not escalate to big issues and put project success at risk. Last, the manager can eliminate the intolerable conflicts by removing one or both parties from the project team. The removal will give a clear signal to the others on the team that this kind of behavior is not acceptable. Over the course of a long project, a team sometimes drifts off course and loses momentum. The project manager needs to rejuvenate the team when energy and passion fade away. There are both formal and informal ways of doing this. Informally, the project manager can take the team for an off-site break, such as bowling, watching an inspiring movie, or inviting the project sponsor to give a pep talk. Formally, the project manager can also hire an outside consultant or specialist to hold a team building session that addresses issues affecting team performance. The consultant works like a therapist. Team members can also engage in outdoor activities that provide an intense common experience to promote social development of the team. It has been fashionable to link team building activities with outdoor experiences. It places group members in a variety of physical challenging situations that must be mastered through teamwork, not individual effort. Watch these 2 videos to learn more about such team building activities. Project managers may have to manage virtual project teams. Virtual project team members are geographically situated so that they may seldom meet face-to-face as a team. For example, Hewlett-Packard's integrated circuit business headquarters and a portion of the R&D facilities are located in Palo Alto, California. They have 2 wafer fabrication plants located in Corvallis, Oregon, and Fort Collins, Colorado. The packaging assembly process is primarily in Singapore and Korea. Some projects require professionals at each of these locations to be involved. Managing virtual project teams can be challenging because it's difficult to trust someone who you may have met only once or twice, or not at all. Geographic separation prohibits the informal social interactions that are often essential to build mutual trust and friendship among team members. Some people may say that you can't have a beer together over the internet. Some project managers find it helpful to hold a face-to-face meeting in the beginning. It's also a good practice to hold quarterly or semi-annual face-to-face meetings so the social links do not fade out. Developing effective communication among virtual project team members is very important. When team members are spread across different time zones and continents, the opportunity for direct communication is severely limited. Project managers should not let team members vanish. They should set clear rules for each member and establish a code of conduct to avoid delays. The code of conduct should reflect not only what, when, and how information will be shared, but also how and when the recipients will respond to it. The virtual team should establish clear norms and protocols to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts. They can also use video conferences to verify and update work progress. The team should share the pain and accommodate time differences by rotating meeting times so that all team members have a turn working according to their normal business hours. To sum up, we talked about different stages of team development. We identified strategies for developing a high-performance team. We distinguished functional from dysfunctional conflicts. We also explained the challenges of managing virtual project teams. This is Wang. See you in the next video.